in my hands right now. Oh my goodness.
Natalie tells me that all the time. Da-ding. What's that?
That's probably live.
Oh, hi, Mom.
Awkward.
I didn't even...
Yep. Yeah, I changed a few of the singer.
You're not doing the one song.
Which song?
I don't want it. I wasn't going to like it.
No, you hate it. You never played it. You hate it.
You do it like once a year. You used to do it once a year.
I used to.
But you're in charge.
Should I add it after your song?
It'll fit. No joke, but no.
I'm not that person. I don't have a burning desire for that song. It's fine.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
That has to be my favorite version of Shalom Aleichem. I like the upbeat nature of it. It feels more welcoming to me. And then the old one, Shalom Aleichem, that sounds like you're at a funeral. We used to sing that at summer camp. And we'd like hold hands and walk around the tables, but it would be fun. We'd run around the tables to this one. And what I like also about Shalom Aleichem, if you know this phrase, Natalie just taught it to me a couple weeks ago. A button song or something like that, where one word changes, and did I get the right phrase? All right. So it's a button song where one word changes on each verse, with one exception, and that's the very first verse calls them Malachei Hasharet, ministering angels, whereas the rest of the verses call them Malachei Hashalom, angels of peace. And it's as if that happens once you greet them. Like they're in charge. They're ministers. They're, angels who have a task to bless us for Shabbat. But we invite them in, and once we invite them in, they become messengers of peace, angels of peace, because they know that we're going to have a peaceful Shabbat, and we know together we'll have a peaceful Shabbat. So we'll continue with our peaceful Shabbat with the lighting of our Shabbat candles. John Tice is going to light the candles for us this evening, and if you want to find the blessing, it is on pages 2 and 3 in your Siddur. Siddur is under the seat in front of you or under your seat, depending. Please rise.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen.
Can't remember it in English. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat.
Amen. You may be seated. Now we've greeted the ministering angels, we've greeted Shabbat with light, and now we continue to greet Shabbat with song, Lecha Dodi, page 20.
Shabbat
Avad olam beit Yisrael amcha havta Torah u'mitzvot huchim u'mishpatim otanu limadta. As you taught Torah to those whose names I bear, teach me Torah too. Its mystery beckons, yet I struggle with its truth. You meant Torah for me. Did you mean the struggle for me too? Don't let me struggle alone. Help me to understand, to be wise, to listen, to know. Lead me into the mystery. Baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael. Page 36. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'otecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta ba'am V'shivtecha b'veitecha u'v'lechtecha b'derech u'v'shochbecha u'v'kumecha u'kshartam le'ot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha u'chatavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'visharecha leman tizkeru ba'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'hitem kedoshim le'lohechem Ani Adonai Elohechem Asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim v'yod lachem le'Elohim Ani Adonai Elohechem Elohechem Emet. Page 39. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot. That wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt. That there is a better place, a promised land. That the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness. That there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together, and singing. Everyone's mask on, I can't see the expression on their faces, so when nothing moves except your hands to clap twice, it reminds me of like a Devo video or OK Go. For your generation, OK Go.
I saw Devo live, don't you?
Whoa, better than me. Me, it's just fish. Tomorrow.
Not Not that you're counting.
Not that I'm counting. I feel like when I talk about fish to people, it's like when they talk about sports to me. So we're even. Back to services. Page 43. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. We continue on page 46 with the Amidah. Please rise. Take a moment for our own personal prayers, and whenever you're finished, you may be seated. continue with Seder Kriyat HaTorah, our service for reading the Torah, page 246. Page 246, please rise. Seated. I think I'm not alone in this. I think a lot of people share this like I'm about to share, but I like to travel. I'm fortunate to have gone to quite a few amazing places in my life, including 47 of the 50 states of these United States. I'm hoping to hit all 50 by my 50th birthday, as inspired by Rabbi Mark Kaiserman. I remember many of the places. I remember a lot of what was done there, what was seen, thanks in part to journaling and in part to social media. I do not remember leaving for many of these journeys. I don't remember, the first steps, except for one. After college in 1996, I decided to head out to Los Angeles to pursue dreams of acting. Surprise. It took me some time to get funds together and secure a place to stay, and almost a year after I graduated, I packed up all my things and got ready to head west. I had gone places before, even on my own, including 4 years in Peoria, Illinois for school, but this going away was different. I have such a clear picture in my mind of the moment I said goodbye to my parents for the last time. Shut the car door and started on the way, trying not to run over my mother, who was still in the middle of the street. I knew where I was going and pretty much how I was going to get there. I had lots of maps. I just didn't know what the results would be. Spoiler alert, I did not become a famous actor. I know you're shocked. Even so, that journey has stuck with me for years. It was not just the 2 weeks I took slowly weaving north and south across the states to take in as much as I could. It was the thrill of unfamiliar territory. I mean, sure, I started on familiar roads. My first stop along the way was to visit my old summer camp, and then I spent the first night of my trip in my old fraternity house in Peoria. I said goodbye to friends from school, all of whom were so impressed that I was going to try to make my dreams come true. Up to that point, the roads were well known. I had driven to Peoria many times, and even the surrounding areas were known to me. As I headed towards St. Louis, the roads became less and less familiar until the end of my second day, when everything from that point on was brand new. Every road, every stop, every friend's couch and motel room, all brand new to me. It was fun and a little scary. In this week's Torah portion, Abram is told by God to go. Leave his home, leave all that is familiar, journey with his wife Sarai and his cousin Lot to a land that God will show him. Unlike my post-undergrad journey, Abram did not know his destination. He went out with the promise that God will show him where to go, and that God would make him a great nation, numerous as the stars in the sky or the grains of sand on the beach. So he goes. His cousin decides to head to this great place he's heard of, Sodom and Gomorrah. More about them later. And he and Sarai deal with kings who want to take Sarai, kings who kidnap Lot, and kings who want to make Abram rich. He refuses to let them so that they can't say that it was from their wealth that he gained success. And still, things are unknown to Abram. God promises that he'll be blessed a second time later in the Parsha. And Abram asks how that's possible if he and his wife are childless. Sarai and he are both in their 70s at this point, and he knows that without an heir, there's no way he'll be the father of a multitude of nations. He expresses worry that he'll have to leave everything he has to his servant Eliezer. Then he has a child with Hagar at Sarah's insistence. And he expresses frustration that God will not make Ishmael his heir. So much lies before Abram that he does not know as his journey progresses. Even if we know Abram's fate, he does not, and we can very likely empathize with him. We all journey into the unknown from time to time. None of us quite as much as when we were dealing with a global pandemic that still throws wrenches in many of our plans, especially those that involve travel. But even beyond that, as we move into 5782, still reeling from 5781, we do not know what the future holds for any of us. Because of this, we understand Abram in a different light. As he sets out on his journey, unsure of where he is going, he teaches us valuable lessons about how to travel in the unknown. 1, keep your family close. When Abram journeys, he takes Sarai and Lot with him because he knows the value of relationships and how they will help him along the way. 2, fight for what is important. When King Chedorlaomer kidnaps Lot, he goes after him because he's willing to do anything to save those he loves, including fight by himself against 5 kings and their armies. 3, take help when you need it, but not at any cost. Abram refuses to take wealth from King Melchizedek because he knows there are strings attached. Always read the fine print and be ready to work hard rather than take help with unreasonable conditions. 4, roll with the changes. Abram and Sarai have their names changed by God to Abraham and Sarah. An identity change is often referred to as a crisis. But as soon as God says their new names, we never know them as anything else from that point on except Abraham and Sarah. Finally, have faith. This is perhaps the most important lesson from Abram. God says go, he goes. God says you're Abraham, he's Abraham. God says I'll give you children from Sarah, and he laughs, but he remains steadfast in his belief. Abraham knows that his wealth, his power, and his progeny will not come from kings and tribal leaders, but from God. May we all be blessed on all of our journeys with these lessons: family, strength, with good help, with flexibility, and with faith. Can you hear that sound? Tonight we're going to read from the beginning of the Parashat Lech Lecha, Genesis chapter 12, verse 1. Yes. And for the Aliyah, in honor of him taking his 87th journey around the sun, that's quite a long trip. We're going to honor Martin Heimlich with the Aliyah. I believe we have a microphone for you. Excellent. Is it on? We'll find out in a second. Yes, it is. Ya'amod Mordechai Shemen ben Menes Volv HaKohen Lalei ala Torah. Baruch Adonai Havarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Havarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Ha'olam Asher B'chavonu Mikol Ha'amin V'no'atan Lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen. Vayomer Adonai el Avram, God said to Abram, Lech lecha, me'artzecha u'mimoladetcha, mi'beit avicha, el ha'aretz asher e'echa. Go forth from the land, from your land, from your birthplace, and from your father's house, to a land that I will show you. Ve'esecha legoy gadol ve'evercha ve'agadal la shimcha. And I will make you a great nation, I will bless you, and I will make your name great. V'aya bracha avaracha mivarchechecha u'miklala e'er v'nivrechu bach kol mishpachot ha'adama. I will bless those who bless you and curse those who curse you, and all of the families of the earth will be blessed by you. V'yelech Avram kasher diber elav Adonai v'yelech ito Lot. And Avram went as God told him, and Lot went with him. V'Avram ben chamesh shanim v'shiv'im shana b'tzeito mecharan. And Abraham was 75 years old when he left Haran.
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Ha'olam Atah B'Tchesed Baruch Shemat Emet.
Amen. Marty, Mazel Tov on your upcoming birthday this Sunday. May you be blessed with many, many years, Ad Mea V'Esrim Shana, to 120, just like, more than Abraham, just like Moses. With the Torah open before us, we know God is listening close to our words. So at this moment, we take those in our community, those in our lives who need prayers of healing into our hearts. So if you have a name that you'd like to say after I have read the list from the community, we encourage you to say those names aloud or type them in the chat if you're at home. Tonight we are praying especially for Nancy Danger, Harriet Dolgan, Larry Dratch, Patrick Fremont, Adrian Greenberg, Beverly Hirsch, Ira Hirsch, Julie Holdaway, Paulette Kestelman, Rachel Corazim, Joan Lerner, Yasmin Moreno, Becky Prickett, Louis Quint, Jay Spencer, Aviva Bat Moralea, Chayalea Bat Miriam, Sarah Rivka Bat Nisan, Esther Malka Chana Bat Batya Ruth, Velvel Moshe Ben Maralea. Are there any other names for tonight?
So
mention aloud, and all the names that remain on our hearts be blessed with a complete healing as we say together, Amen. I'm going to go off script for a second. I know you're surprised. But as we read through the list of names tonight, Julie Holdaway's name jumps out at me. And praying for healing is so important and has been shown to actually be efficacious for people who are sick, that we can actually do some healing with our prayers. But for Julie, we can actually do some healing. She is on a kidney registry, and her time on the registry will probably be longer than her kidney will last. So she is on another registry to try to match her with someone who can give her a new kidney. So there's a link on our CBT Facebook page. There's a link in our favorite CBT membership group. There's a link on my personal page. There's a link on Jenna's personal page. You can find the link for a kidney for Julie. I think that's what it's called, kidney, the number 4, Julie. And either sign up to be on the kidney registry, but first read the physical requirements, because not everyone can do it. And as I look around, I'm thinking maybe 3 in the room make up the age requirements. And because it's kind of a narrow window for age requirements, and then there are all kinds of things, physical fitness and not on any medications regularly and that kind of thing. So if you don't fit the requirements, please forward the link. Send it in an email, send it to people. Let's get Julie a kidney. So thank you for letting me take that moment of your time. We are going to continue with Hagba and Galila of lifting and dressing the Torah. And as the Torah is lifted, we invite you again to please rise. Page 282. Thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. We remember the holy martyrs of every age of Jewish memory, from the Crusades to the Inquisition, from the English expulsion to the Russian pogroms, from the destruction of the temple in Jerusalem to the destruction of communities in the Holocaust. We also remember those who have given their lives in defense of our nation and in defense of the state of Israel. We take to heart the 426 Americans who lost their lives this week to gun violence. As we remember them all, let us meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death, perhaps choosing the meditations on page 288 and following, or whichever words the heart may prompt. Think of our own loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who died at this season in years past, and those whom we have drawn into our hearts with our own. I haven't reminded us of this in a long, long time, but it is custom here that when you hear the name of your own loved one, you rise in acknowledgement of their memory. Tonight we are observing Shloshim, remembering the recent deaths of Mary Therese McGoran, Leo Capsuto, Ben Kolodny, and Erwin Wolzinger. We also remember those for whom we are commemorating a yahrzeit this week, remembering the anniversary of their death: Ralph Amato, Sylvia Bandler, Herbert Bernstein, Leah Biebelberg, Lori Cable, William Chergel, David Feinstein, Dr. Henry Fendel, Dennis Flanagan, Howard Gershwin, Alexander Goldsmith, Leon Grad, Irving Hoppin, Marilyn Horberg, Rose Clayman, Benjamin Klugman, Leonid Kornberg, Ida Leibowitz, Norm Markovich, Asher Markovich, David Moskovich, Tom Romano, Harold B. Rosenberg, Ellen Brochner Rubin, Edith Siegel, Robert Seiden, Joseph Silverman, Sean Zohar. Are there any other names for Kaddish this evening? Memories of all of them are with us. Our griefs and sympathies are mingled as we rise as one community to lend strength to our mourning friends and to stand for those who have no one to stand for them. Kaddish Yatom, Mourner's Kaddish, is on page 294. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
Be'alma di v'rach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei. V'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael. ba'agala u'bizman kariv vimru.
Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah Mevarach Le'alam U'Amei Amaya.
Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei kudusha
Barichu.
le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tush b'chata v'nechemata ta'amiran be'alma v'imru
Amen.
Yehei shlama rabba min shmaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru
Amen.
Oseh
Oseh Shalom V'Imromav. Uyaseh Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael. V'Imru. Amen.
May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us, to all Israel, and to all the world, to which we say,
Amen.
you may be seated.
Hi, I'm Nancy Danger, and although I'm a little wobbly, I do represent your board of directors. First of all, I wanted to thank Diane and Sam Salzman, and Diane and Sam Salzman for sponsoring the streaming this evening. There you are. Thank you. I want to thank Jenna and Rabbi Young for officiating tonight's service. And I want to make a push for ushers. Brotherhood's looking for people to usher Shabbat services. You don't have to be part of Brotherhood, which means you don't have to be a guy. You can be a girl. You can be anybody. If you want to usher services, send the dates that you want to usher to Brian Offner, and his email is in the bulletin. So that's it. Shabbat Shalom.
I want to mention the middle row in the program. Rabbi Dr. Andrea Weiss is coming to Or Ami in Central California, I guess, next Saturday, a week from tomorrow, and we can see her online at orami.org/RSVP. We are a sponsor of this event, of this Torah study, and this will replace our regular Torah study next week. So we'll hear from Rabbi Dr. Andrea Weiss. I'm a huge fan. In addition to her being one of the main editors of the Women's Torah Commentary, which is just a marvelous commentary, she was my thesis advisor in rabbinical school, so I know she's great. So we hope that you'll register on orami.org/RSVP. I'm already registered. They send you a link after you register. It's super easy. And then we'll watch together online on Saturday the 23rd. For now, we are going to turn to page 321 for Adon Olam. Adon Olam. Asher Malach. B'terem kol. Yitzir nivra. Le'et nasa b'chesed kol. Azai melech shemo b'cham Adon Olam. Adon Olam. Adon Olam. Adon Adon Olam. Asher Malach. B'terem kol. Yitzir nivra. Le'et nasa b'chesed kol. Azai melech shemo b'cham Adon Olam. Adon Olam. Adon Olam. Adon cool. Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam. Adon Olam. Adon Olam. Adon Olam. Hashem Lach. B'tem Kol. Tzivira. That's so cool. Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam. You didn't notice till the end. That was great. We
Well, I
rise.
noticed.
We rise for Kiddush and Motzi. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu b'shabbat kodsho v'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu. Zikaron le'maaseh v'reishit, ki hu yom tefila v'mikra'ei kodesh, zecher l'tziot mitzrayim, ki banu v'charta v'otanu kiddashta mikol ha'avim v'shabbat kodshecha v'ahava v'ratzon inchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai v'kadesh haShabbat. Amen. Okay, don't really put your finger on the challah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz.
Amen.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
And if you didn't believe I was a failed actor, you can see how I hold the tray.
I saw it, and I kept trying to focus, and by the end I was like, I can't even. I saw you the whole time.
missed the big high note.
I did, because I lost it.
I'm so proud of
It's your fault. You trolled me on Shabbos. It's nice, it's nice.
I don't troll on Shabbos.
So good. That was
Shabbat Shalom, Bob.